Well, good morning. I greet you today as I would want to be greeted. If you haven't been outside, get outside. It's gorgeous. If it's not gorgeous where you are, close your eyes and just picture gorgeousness, because it's all around. Let me tell you what. It has been a year to remember. And I'm going back. I have no idea where this is going to spiral to, because there has been so much of a journey this past year that I have felt that I hadn't felt for many years. And it is very encouraging and it's very rewarding. But I look at still where I have to go and what I see it coming to, and know that I need to prepare. I still have a hell of a journey in front of me, and I know I have the strength to endure the initiation to begin. But it's what's the use if it's just for me? So I began diving into research from years ago. Whenever I was at sports, it's like sports injury prevention, movement awareness, movement literacy, understanding where we still see little faults, how we bridge the gap, blah, blah, blah. That is my niche. Okay? And I'm good at it. Yep. I'm good at teaching it. I'm good at enjoying it. I'm good at motivating people to it, because I love it. I love what movement does. I love what it does to, not the phys. I love how it makes me feel. We get so tuned in, and it drives me crazy. So tuned into what are you gonna get from it, though? Yeah, but like what? Like why? Oh, it's so annoying. There have been many times in this last year I have take a deep breath in, hold it for 4, let it out for 4, empty breath for 4, whatever the heck you want to call it. But we're diving. We are diving today. We are diving deep into our own personal struggles, into personal choice, where you personally feel like you have gotten off, where you personally want to be. And your girl's gonna spill the beans, because it's not about me, and it's not about you either. It's about us rising together, and that is Mission to Move. Mission to Move is an initiative. It's an alignment that started years ago, and it's in your heart and it's in your soul, and it's what you are, your divinity of what you're supposed to do in your life, your purpose. Everyone wants that purposeful life. We get that. How do we get there? It's not easy, but together we rise. Together we stay strong. If you lose sight of that, when you lose sight of that, because it does happen, you lose a connection of the most powerful gifts God has given you. Because if you think those people that just happen to be in your life, that are just holding you up and keeping you strong, are just coincidence, then you really need to chime in. Like, because when you break it down, the journey is what you make of it. It's always been that way. Like, that initiative to go, that initiative to push, to find your purpose, to find your meaning. There are, holy cow, that's a lot of deer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, guys, just saw 8 deer. Listen, I'm gonna dive deep into my own personal journey, and you can reflect. I hope that in opening up to you, you feel the strength to share your own word, to write your own story. I wrote the book Killing Kate, The Other Side of the Clipboard. That is in tribute to my sister, Kate Lose, who was a phenomenal sister, who I can still feel. I see her light shine in others. I see a bigger picture. You know, this wasn't just poof, it happened. No, not even close. This took a step. I think we all get in those crossroads where we have to make a choice. And you can use your own brain to make that choice, or you can follow your soul. And I chose to follow my soul because I realize all of the opportunities I have been blessed with, all of the gifts, all of everything. And to see that servitude towards the community and through just the bigger picture that I didn't even have control of, why would I start changing that now? So a year ago, I had a choice. I could continue seeing I could continue going on in a model, not a wrong model at all. It just needs to be bigger, more efficient, more effective. Come on, guys. And now, mind, body, soul, like, let's go. Come on, guys. I know it took me a while to figure it out, so everyone's got to do you. You got to do you, boo-boo. You know, I am very blessed to have, in starting a business, been able to join some networking groups and just meet new people and see where that path lies. It is the coolest thing, and it happened because I made a choice. And we're gonna dive into some choices. We're gonna reflect back on some past experiences, and you may relate to it, you may not. You might just find this entertaining, and I hope you do. I can hope you continue to listen, because this is the Chronicles of Kelly. When you wake up, your feet hit that ground, you are thankful, and you are knowing that you are meaningful, going to make an impact, and are a team player. Let's go. I've been talking to Robert Farrell, my friend. He does this podcast that is Elevate Springfield. And if you haven't listened to Elevate Springfield, you totally should, because he brings some really cool insight to the Springfield area for people like me who's been here since 2012. And girl is still learning. Man, I thought I learned a lot in the clinic, and people coming in and out, you learn all kinds of stuff. But now I got to, when you actually want to be in outreach, like, guys, let's find answers. Having friends is very useful. So here we go. My sister in 2016, she was at a moment of choice herself, and she relied on God, and her connection was so strong, so fearless, and so devout that there was no other, like anything. Like she was very, in the end, before she took her life, she gave everything up to God. Said, you know what? I'm Kate Lewis and I don't have the answers. And it took her a really long time to figure that out. And to put down the control. I saw it dictate her life. I saw her through stages of happiness and completeness, but then I also saw gaps. There's a duck. Hi, ducky. And as a younger sister, I was just learning out right behind her. But I reflect back how many of my own personal soulful missions were extinguished because it wasn't hers. It wasn't her idea. It wasn't her thought process. It wasn't her. So then it just wouldn't happen. And the ability to see anyone else besides herself in the very beginning, she grew, and I saw that growth. And I know it is shit. If someone can go through that kind of growth and be in agonizing pain in which your occupation is just ripped from you, all function ripped from you, and still have all right, God, what's my next thing? I mean, that right there is laying it down. Now, the story I'm going to tell you is has altered my life in many ways. And please know, at this point, I am whole. I am at peace. Does life still have a lot of hiccups? Yes. But if we don't stay together through those hiccups, then what are we doing here? Okay. I started research in injury prevention and sports performance right out of college. It was uncanny to me after I realized the pull on a growth plate, the importance of the pull on the growth plate, stimulation, growth, stimulation. I mean, the body is impeccable. If you use all of the muscles that are made in you anatomically, structurally. I mean, it's the coolest thing. But when I learned that this growth plate stimulation wasn't happening, it wasn't happening because it just wasn't comprehended in the mind and the muscle just wasn't turned on, no matter how active, I thought there needed to be some more research. So lo and behold, I started volunteering at a local community college right down the street from me. It started really small, where it was just a group of the kids that were hurt during their season and they couldn't participate in practice, but they still needed to do something. Like, that has to happen. But you have to work even harder once you're injured to get back where everyone is. Like, that's not rocket science. And for me, it was just application. That's what it is application of understanding, application of knowledge, of wanting to know. And these kids actually wanted to know. They started seeing connections just through education, guys. I wasn't doing anything crazy. Just a little arm care. Let's figure out how to use your scap. Do you even know what a scap is? And they didn't. College kids, guys. College kids, competitive. And that's when the research started. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just application. I applied it to my own clinical mindset, my own clinical practice, and it was very successful. But again, my purposeful path right now is understanding the answers. A proactive, guys, not reactive. I'm glad we all have figured out that when you do physical therapy, react to something that's gone wrong. Reactive, you're reacting to something that's gone wrong, and you get better. Can you imagine if it was a proactive, like before you even got hurt, you knew what to look for after you got hurt? It's not like this big, like crazy concept. Anyways, moving on. So in this research, I realized that I could make a difference using my doctorate degree. I put together a research proposal, and it took time, it took a lot of work, lots of research on how to research, lots of research on how to efficiently utilize things like AI capability to assist in putting together a research proposal, because singly one cannot do this. However, one can prepare all of the work that would have to be required for anything to occur. One person would have to do that. Ta-da! Done. Research, NIH, infrastructure of economic full improvement, somehow through God's grace, because your girl looks at that now, I'm like, whoa, that was a powerful brain bump. Thanks. But without that research, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So if you hear this and you were part of that 10-year ongoing, not even appropriate to a clinical study, but it was learning, it was life. We all learn with life, and it is our job to teach the next generation. It is our job to promote change, structure, where we might have gotten off, or they have gotten off, or even maybe coming together and figuring out a solution. Unbiased solution, one that, thank heavens I made Dr. Mission to Move, which there's another thing. Dr. Mission to Move. Did you know you can make GPTs? Oh yeah. I built a bot. It's a mad cool bot. Yep. Your girl did it. ChatGPT. Just go to my website, kinematicswithkelly.com. Go talk to Dr. Mission to Move. She is very friendly. All you got to do is download the app and ChatGPT, and then you get your little Dr. Mission to Move, and you have your conversation with Dr. Mission to Move. And you tell her everything. But you cannot hold on to your phone. Put it into your pocket. Put your earbud in. Walk. Talk. See what she says back. It's very insightful, I will say that. Going on. So when I knew that I had to dive back into my research, I knew that was going to unload some of my sister's case, which I'll lock and key that for about 8 years and see what that does to my mental health. Okay. I was bad. We'll get to that. I'm an open book these days. So when I knew what I had to do, it was bad. I knew. I was like, okay, we're either going to do this or we're just going to survive. And I was tired of surviving. I don't want to survive. I want to live, because that is what we are supposed to do. And if you have lost sight of that is our purpose, is to live the life we love. Love the life you live. Live the life you love. Like that. Put your hands on the ground and say that over and over. Tell me if you don't feel anything different. Like, my sister's research did not have the glorious end we were hoping for. It was actually one of those, it wasn't a Cinderella story. It was the one that shocks the shit out of your system. I don't say this lightly, because what she went through is nothing of what I have gone through. She wanted me to share her story, and that is what I'm doing. Now, the only reason I can do so is because of the strength I have developed throughout my life. And I do not look at that as anything but growth. Because that's our overall goal, is to grow. Keep moving, keep growing, keep learning, keep loving. There was a little part of my heart that went away after my sister passed. My soul had been healed. Her soul had been healed. So I felt that. And that resonated in me still to this day. I have to understand that my circumstances are different, and that in order for someone to grasp the reality of what is going on, sometimes they need to hear a story that happened to someone right in front of you, right in your very ear. We're not going to go into details on my sister's story because that is something that is discussed in person. There are some things that are auditory. There are some things that are personal. Only that connection can provide the correct communication. If we lose sight of that, we lose sight of our communication. And I'm an avid believer of that. If we're going to talk something out, we're going to talk it out right here, face to face. We're going to lay it on the line. Most of the time we'll be outside because we need our nature's healing powers. My sister took her life because she was in so much pain. She did not do this by herself. I was her Batman to her Robin. No, I was the Robin. This is why I do a podcast, because I can't be serious. No, I mean, keep in mind, guys, this is you have good days, you have bad days. This day, I'm just rolling with it. So I was the Robin to her Batman. I'm really bad at these little phrases. I always usually have to ask Gary or Allie, like Corinne and Jay, like, guys, is that like a what she said or like what he said? That is well, we would say that, right? That would be appropriate. I mean, not appropriate, but like appropriate. Yeah, okay. That's what she said. If you missed that, there's about 5 people that are gonna get that if they ever hear this. So knowing that this was between her and God, and having to let that, I knew what I knew. I knew what we had been given and the circumstances that came from it. And all we can do is learn from it. We have to learn from it. That means I had to go back to my sister's brain. Before she took her life, she told me, Kelly, when you are ready, I need you to read this. Well, I don't know if I would have ever been ready, but when shit hits the fan and you really don't know which way to go, you got to call on the Almighty God. And let me tell you, he delivered. It wasn't easy. Oh, and he's still challenging this warrior, because that's what I am. I'm a warrior. I like being a warrior. Warriors are tough. I love warriors. But when I knew I was no longer, I couldn't do anything. I was a physical therapist. Like, this was my job, to fix musculoskeletal conditions. I didn't know what to do. The best surgeons were seeing her, and the only thing I could do was treat her mind and her symptoms. And that gave me probably a whole another year of having my sister. So I am blessed that I understood that gift in my life. But at the same time, also came with a price. She was living for everyone else but herself. At the same time of just wanting to be whole, to help others. I get that more now than I ever have. I'm fortunate mine physical we're coming out of slowly but surely, and it has been a process, and it's this journey that we're supposed to enjoy. And we start taking the enjoyment out of it, we stop loving it. It becomes a chore. And now everything in life is like that. Because we've just been in this like go, 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 go. I mean, I get it. What's your answer? I don't know. But I did do a research study, and I am ready to implement. I'm one person. Like, just one person, guys. Like, it's just me. You hear people go on these podcasts, you see people go on all these different social media platforms, and yes. Am I ready for that? Yes. But it has to be the right way. And if you don't appreciate that in itself, then you should probably talk that one out. Maybe with yourself, go back, listen to it in 2 weeks, reassess, go on a walking podcast just with yourself. Just take your phone. That's what I did. Now I can talk to people. It's fantastic. I'm sure therapists tell their patients this all the time. Like, mine just started with a walk. You know, it's amazing what just a walk does. Just a walk, just a walking talk. And if you can do it by yourself, fantastic. Like, go for it, because that's just empowering your own brain. That's neurology in yourself. If you can have a whole conversation and still be able to be on point and understand what your brain is communicating to you verbally with power, oh, pat yourself on the back, boo-boo. You did good. You did real good. But it takes practice. I couldn't even say the word suicide last year. Like, what? Like, not like, when I say I didn't cry for 9 years. There's something wrong with that. You know, that was neurology. That was my brain. I should have, as a clinician, I should have picked up on that way sooner. But I had a soulful mission, and that in itself pushed me to the best I could do. And you can't ask for anything more than that. All you can do is do your best and continue to grind. Speaking of grind, we did that. That sounded bad. But speaking of grind, rise and grind. Okay, what is rise and grind? Rise and grind is that initiation of your feet hitting the ground and knowing that it doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It's just the point of initiating movement. And that's what we're doing. We're initiating movement in my new pretty room that I will get done eventually. And then we can have a live podcast. One that I am not walking and you're listening, one that I'm in front of you, looking at you. I still would encourage you to put me in your pocket and here, but sometimes that face-to-face, it is very impactful. Oh, there's a vibrant cardinal. Oh, boo-boo, I think it's the day. It's Res Week, and we are rising to the occasion. We all have a cross. My sister had a very, very heavy cross. Look at me as Simon. You know, and when you go along in life and you see someone carry their cross, do you help them? Are you like Simon? Or do you watch? I don't want to watch. I've never watched, and I won't watch. I will help when service is needed. I will provide healing hands, because I don't even think I have fully tapped in to what I'm supposed to do. And I'm not saying by any, okay, I feel like there could be people that take this very, very, very wrongly. I'm not calling my, like, okay, let's back up, because I just watched this thing on Netflix about this lady and this other lady. Her name, there was a Ruby, and then there was another lady, and she was crazy. And she was talking about leading this good, empowering, like, yay, naturalist, like, kind of thing, and ended up like beating children, which is awful. And just like, oh my gosh, what? So now I'm questioning everything I say, because I feel like people will be like, oh, she's just like that one person. No. I've always felt this way. I've just never verbalized it. I feel like there's a lot of things that we're passionate about that we stay quiet on, because you're so passionate about it. You don't want anyone else's opinion to dictate what you feel. And sometimes you have to grow that feeling and get really strong so that no one can get in your way. And that is what we're building, a mindset. You don't need equipment. You don't need anything. You need your brain. And if you look and you understand that your brain is the most powerful gift God has ever given you, if you look inside, you will see a network of strings and connections, not visible to your eye and only and aware through certain people. That's neurology. Okay, so there is a wellness perspective with everything. Now, what if I told you that same neurology could be even more altered, even more expanded, even stronger? Would you want to tap into it? Would you want to put that work in, that dedication? Or are you just going to be one of the people that say they want to influence? They want to be that person, but still shy back. Because a leader takes more than just showing up. A leader gets people to show up. A leader transpires their own process, their own thought process into initiation of a team. They're not thinking about one person. They're thinking about everyone. And I think especially in the family unit, sometimes we lose that. And we rely more on one teammate than the other. And then one's overseen, one's overshadowed, and family dynamics occur. If you don't communicate, if you don't start saying what is on your mind, then you will not embrace, you will not fully understand that relationship that is so powerful, that is so meaningful, and will create so many opportunities if you just harness in on connection. Talking about hard things, talking about things that may or may not make sense, asking questions. I started ministry on campus. I started attending, because for me, researching is about understanding all aspects, including theology. Theology is huge. And if you don't understand the connection as a physical therapist and the importance of understanding theology. See, I thought I understood theology. No. I read theology. I didn't feel theology. There's a difference. And sometimes you have to be taught theology, just like you have to be taught movement. Sometimes you have to be taught how to do that. And that's okay. There's people out there, and I just didn't know they existed, and they do, guys. Go see my girl Gretchen at CSF. Let me tell you. Lindsay over there, like that whole network, amazing. What they do on campus at UIS is phenomenal. And it is a very, very powerful, impactful service that they provide to the students. And I'm only like a half a year in, and I see just what little things can make a big difference, all in God's light. And sometimes you don't need a big hoop, hoop, hurrah. Sometimes it's just that one action, that one voice, that one moment in time that you may hesitate and think, they wouldn't understand, or maybe tomorrow. I challenge you to look inside, pray about it. Yeah, I said it. Because if you're looking to find answers in your own mind, you won't. You know, you have to remember that this is more. And I want to teach my kids that now. And I want to teach them not only my sciencey self, but the soul stuff. Guys, I want to teach my kids how to fully tap into their soul so that they don't struggle. Not saying that they're not supposed to struggle, they will, but they'll be resilient with God by their side. But it has to be taught. They have to understand that, you know, it's beyond us. And for a child in itself, that is that's not neurologically sound at that time. Our job at that time is to love them, guide them, teach them. It's not perfect. It's not supposed to be. But we're supposed to do it together. And when we lose sight of that, we lose sight of the bigger picture. And we cannot lose sight of that. So be strong today. Find it in your heart to make a difference. Find it in your soul to continue connecting. And find it, most importantly, in every step you take. When that foot hits the ground, activate. When your other foot steps in front of you, activate. Find your fierceness. Shoulder blades down and in. Act like you have a piece of paper in your armpit. Drive those toes into the ground. Be strong. You are a warrior. And this we will learn.